Alright, in the kitchen here, that's where the fridge goes. You can see that's kind of collapsed and there's a hole there, and this whole thing is crap, so that's got to come out. I'm going to move the oven because where it is, it's pushed up against in there and it wastes a lot of space, I think. Well, let's see. A weird setup. That is 50 years old, so pull that up and see how bad that is. Alright, next up, I'm going to take a little bit, see if I can do this kitchen floor. I don't know what's going to end up in here after I'm done ripping this out because this can't stay. I'm not sure what condition that wall's in. I have to get that vent out of there. I have to rebuild this window. First things first, I got to get the floor, get the solid foundation. As you can see, it's rotten out, and there's nothing holding this thing together. This is like some cheap little drywall stuff, so I'll have to see if I can. I'm going to try not to go all the way. I'm going to try to do it right to there, but I may end up having to come all the way over here. Yeah, we'll see. Let me get the big old hammer out and see what we can tear out without tearing up anything. Okay, looks like I have a plan of attack, and I've got these bottom boards loose, but I gotta go out and mow the grass. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up to that level, to that window frame, and go all the way over. It's actually kind of 3/8 sheetrock they put over the top of the paneling. Pretty wild. Well, don't look too bad from the start. I just put a couple of valves on those water lines because they didn't put any valves on them. They just ran 1/2-inch lines off the ends of those and right to the sink. Pretty weird. Okay. Anyway, marching on. Alright, here's our next step. Get the little sheetrock off of there. We're going to change all that disgusting insulation out, so I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to leave that. I'm not sure about that one in the back. I'll get under the floor here. Let's see what's what. That's pretty close. There's still something. Hold me up. Alright, let me get that nasty stuff. I'm impressed, man. I gotta say. 2x4 studs. 1979 Charler. Alright, let me bag these things up. They're disgusting. Ooh, look what's below. It's gonna be interesting because this is thin. I'm gonna want 3/4 inch in there. I have to take this whole corner out too. I have to redo this whole section. Well, let's see. Maybe I can double up the plywood to level it to this. I just got to level first. Let me see what happens when I level it. Still tearing it up though. Okay, first sign of major issues here. That's one of the steel beams that used to exist. They used to go from inside there out to here, which is no longer there, so I'm gonna have to see some water leak back in here. Look at that. That explains all maybe why this whole thing's sagging, huh? I'm gonna have to come back and find some structure. Lovely. Because I don't have enough to do. Well, I'm gonna have to take that section out. I gotta get back to that beam. Still cruising. Digging away. Okay, here's where I am so far. I'm not sure about that over there. May not be done, I guess. As I suspected, this has got a wicked droop to it. See that? It needs to come up. To about where? There-ish. This one's not even attached. That one may actually be a good starting point. That one's gonna have to get cut off back here somewhere. It's all nothing. That one's got a good twist to it. I'm gonna sister up to that one probably. Yeah, I'll probably have to cut that part out too. A couple on the cabinet. I don't know. There's a big loop in it right there. I might have to go over to that other piece of plywood and yank that up. I think I've about had it for today. I'll spray some bug spray around and come back at it maybe tomorrow. Okay, first step is we cut out this rotten piece there. That one, I think. Here and realized that this chunk was rotten, so we cut that out. I'm gonna throw a piece in there, 2x6. I'm gonna glue it in there and screw it to this, and the screws come through the skin. We'll go into that. I got this floor jack with a 2x4. I can't show you, can I? 2x4 extending all the way down, jacking this side up a little bit, but I just went till it hit tension. It's not leveling out. Of course, it's really hard to level anything around here because you get this 1.5 inch of particle board underneath everything. So I'll take care of that when I put the 2x6 joists in. This is the piece that's missing right here. Goes right here. So that part that was holding this up is completely gone because completely rotted out. So first thing, I had to cut this back 1.5 inches so I can run this other sister in there. It's going between two beams, so that's what's gonna do. I got this jacked up to hold this up in that place. It's not all the way up against the thing. It's basically sitting on the level, so it's going to be even with these 2x6s there. This one's going to go up as far as I can get it over here. It's not going to go all the way up what looks like level over there because there's still some of that particle board stuff on that side, but it will be up even at the top of the 2x6s. And then when I attach that, and then I'm going to put a new another beam onto here that'll go out to there. I won't have this steel piece anymore, but we'll see if we add anything else in there to beef it up. But for now, it'll be a world better than how it was, so it'll give us a starting point to start level out this section of floor. I'm still not sure yet how much of this is going to have to come out, or if I'm just going to leave it the way it is and throw something on top of it to level it out as they've done there. First things first, let's get this thing glued and screwed and get some more cross members going in there. Here, a rare action shot. Always have extra batteries. Yeehaw! Alright, here's my framing. I got a little carried away here and there, but hopefully that kitchen drain is going to work out in the cutout. I'm reluctant to attach this big sheet of plywood, but I got lots of spare 2x and things, so I used them and made sure I had the ends cover to that plywood because that's where the fridge is going to go. So that's going to be a big load. I'm tempted. I'm not going to worry about it. Put anything right here. 3/4 inch plywood is going to be good enough for that. And it's got support under there and over there. And it's not like I'll be there for 50 years anyway. So that's about how it looks. 2x6s mostly, and 2x4s on the end. And anywhere I got a seam, I got a joist underneath it. So the much easier way to do this was to cut the hole out to the size of a sheet of plywood, like 4x8, but in my case, I had to cut out the rotted parts. So I was stuck with making a couple of pieces of it. Could have gone back up in there and then with a little short piece back here, but I went all little cutouts and things are on that end, so I did them with little short pieces in case I got to pull them up someday. Alright, I'm going to lay this down and screw down the ones that I can. Pick it back up and I'm going to see about attaching. I got to make sure that pipe's open first. And we start with this. I had some wiring, we placed that 2x4 under there and keep going. Man, another 8 o'clock night, day, whatever. Alright, all the floors screwed down. Just that little strip right there, which I'm going to wait until I get the foam out. So now I got to get some green board. Figure out if I'm going to put the electrical socket. I got to put one in for the disposal, and I'm going to put one in for a dishwasher if I get around to doing that. Well, we'll see. Right now I think I'm going to mock up a sink so I can put the sink in there, get the fridge over here. At least get that section closed up for the fridge to go in there. Alright, I think it's time to call it a day. Okay, so I've decided to go ahead and bring this side of the floor up. It's about 1/2 inch, so I got some 1/2 inch plywood. I originally was going to move the outlet over there, get this out of here, put a dishwasher in the corner. You see my wall so far. But I'm only going to be here like 6 months, so I'm simply going to level the floor out here. Take it out to, I'm not sure if I'm going to go to right here or bring it out to here. I think this is going to come out, so as I stand here, I am not sure, but since this is in the way, I think perhaps I will simply bring it out to here. That's going to look weird because I don't know. I think I'm going to start them in the corner and work this way. I may come out farther. Maybe I'll come around the corner because this is all sunken in down here. Now we start over here and see what happens. So put this in there, I'll put the stove in there. I have some cabinetry that it's going to just kind of be piecemeal stuck in there. I don't know what I'll do about this corner. This is a dead corner since the stove sits all the way out here. There's nothing. I'll have to do something. Some kind of fancy shelves that come up or something. Or not worry about it, just use it for, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let's get started on that and see what happens. Okay, so here we have our 3 pieces of 1/2 inch plywood. Cut to fit. They're not screwed down now. You might wonder what this is about. Well, some of these areas need a little leveling, so I had to put some leveling compound in there. Ooh, that looks nice, doesn't it? I'll show you what I did. This drives me crazy. This is a quick aside. The problem you have when you got so much stuff You know, last week, and oh man, well, I might as well buy. I sat there and trying to figure out, should I buy 1 pound or 5 pounds of these guys? I bought 5 pounds, 30 bucks or something like that. And then the other day I stumbled across these. When you get so much stuff that you don't know what you have, you end up just buying extra stuff for nothing. Pain in the butt having so much. Anyway, so what I did, let's see if I can get this thing out of here. Probably not without pulling this one first. This one's laying pretty flat, so no problem there. This one, on the other hand, was really low in some places under it. So what I did, use cheap leveling compound. I had sheetrock mud left. And that's what I did. I just gooped in some sheetrock mud, leveled it with my level as much as I could. It's not quite, yeah, try it. Just looking at that spot, yeah, it's not quite dry yet because I put it in there way too thick. So it's flattened out because of where I had this, so I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'm going to open it up and leave it. Let it air out. I did the same thing on this side over here. Guess I better open these things and let them dry for a while yet. Obviously, it doesn't really matter that I'm going to screw this thing down here. But I'd rather have it cured before I screw everything down. I know there's probably some reason not to use drywall mud, but you know what? A lot of times you buy 5 gallons of it and it just sits around for years, but you don't need that much. I only had the little can. But, you know, I have to make do with what I got. So I guess I'll pull this up and let those dry for a while and take a break, maybe lunch or something. We'll come back and screw it all down. Okay, here's where they're screwed down for the most part. Let's see what I drew a line. I didn't need a line. Just cutting that out. Make sure I put an X where I was cutting so I didn't screw up. Usually I cut on the line. So. And I didn't get to be able to put screws in along here because there's not enough meat underneath them. I even tried 3-inch screws, 2-inch screws. Same with along here. I'm gonna have to, yeah, just not worry about that. So anyway, got my 1/2 inch. This now matches the kitchen floor. Most likely I'm going to continue that out in the living room. I'll just sheet the entire living room with 1/2 inch plywood and not worry about so much the soft spots or any holes in there, but I do have to repair the front door entry there because it's soft. So I'm going to roll the refrigerator over where it belongs and the stove in where it belongs. A temporary stove. I have a glass top. I don't know, I'm ready to just leave this one in here. But for now, until I get my flooring, I got a bunch of laminate flooring which I'm going to probably try to put in here maybe. We'll see. It's all about salvaging what I've got on hand. So whatever I got on hand is what I'm going to try to use. I'll do some piece of vinyl to match the whole thing. I will try to match this entire floor. I still want to yank this divider out and this bar. It doesn't need to be there, and I've got some cabinets that'll go in and take its place. And I was looking at the trailer behind here that I'm salvaging, destroying, removing. And it's got some kitchen countertops in there that at least some of the sections I might be able to put in here. So we'll see. It's still an unknown as far as that goes. I'm going to have to build the kitchen cabinets, the kitchen sink cabinet, and then just get a top for it. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll salvage something out of there. Alright, get some stuff moved in. Well, into this weekend, and this is what I got. I got the stove in place. I got my temporary sink in place. I've got my fridge back where it belongs. Floor's even level. It's a good place to stop. Not sure what I'm doing over there yet. It's about 8 sheets of plywood, looking at about $250 to just sheet this in 1/2 inch plywood. But next on the list is to do something with this. You know, see with the door closed, but it's soft and there's soft places all over here. Easy thing just going to be to sheet the whole thing in 1/2-inch plywood and it'll all be basically even. It may not be level, but and then I have some laminate flooring I'm going to try to put in there. I'm satisfied. Looks good enough for now. So the kitchen is move-in ready basically. And now I'll see if I can get a 16-inch cabinet in there. I have an 18-inch at the trailer next door I can pull out, but it's 18 inches. The minimum I can do is 18 inches on it. And I just don't have it. It's close. But not close enough because the fridge is all the way over. And I'm not going to take that out yet. I'm going to leave that in there. This one here, I may replace with some of that crap over there. Once I get all the crap out of it, I'll see what condition the countertop and the shelving that goes under it is. I might be able to replace that with what's over there. And I'm just going to leave this the heck alone. Because it's all hanging around up there. It's good enough. I may be out of here in 8 months. I gotta be in there at least 6 months to make this all worth it. So, anyway, there I am so far.